What's up? Today I'm gonna share with you guys 5 simple sound design tips for filmmaking. I got the opportunity to work with a lot of great directors and a lot of great indie films on sound design, so let's go. Tip number 1, ambience and room tone. What's the difference between ambience and room tone? Room tone are usually recorded on set. It kind of helps to let the conversation flow without any jarring stop or pauses. For example, look at this scene right here. After removing all the unnecessary sound in between dialogues, this is what you got.
Did I ever tell you she was a princess? It's true. And believe it or not, that means you're royalty too.
Then how come we don't live in a castle?
You feel like the pauses comes in every now and then, and it's kind of annoying. So this is where room tone comes to play.
Did I ever tell you she was a princess? It's true. And believe it or not, that means you're royalty too.
Then how come we don't live in a castle?
So how do we get room tone then? Here's an example of how I record my room tone from this scene. We have everybody on set to be as quiet as possible, ensure nobody is making any noise, and start recording with your recorder. Make sure you got a nice clean 30 to 60 seconds so that it helps to fill the gaps in between your scene. Room tone is actually part of an ambience. So what is an ambience then? Ambient sound are usually generated to create a sense of space and location. For example, like if you're in a market or in a train station or any kind of public space, you hear people talking, people shouting, cars honking, dogs barking, and all these sounds comes in almost every direction. This will give your scene a sense of identity. Tip number 2, the details of your sound. Which sound choice do you use? It may sound surprising to some people, but not all guns sound the same. You cannot have a pistol on screen and put an AK-47 sound on it. It feels a little off. You want to have an understanding of the film that you're working on. What I like to do is I close my eyes, I even mute the dialogue, and I just look at the scene. Really dive into the part and read the moving pictures. Put yourself into it and feel what kind of sound you want to hear. In order to create texture on your sound that you desire, you want to layer a couple sounds to make it feel rich. Combining different sound elements and even doing foleys will build a realistic environment. So what is a foley then?
Here we go.
Foley is a kind of technique where you create and record the sound based on a scene that you're focusing on and to synchronize the recorded sound to the moving pictures. All these tiny little tricks will help to build depth and realism into your scene. Number 3, learn to be different. Now, you got your sound, how do you want to elevate to the next level? Play with different sound elements to emphasize different moments. For example, this scene, a young lady who worked as a teacher struggling to overcome a school shooting incident that happened in her life. This is the part where she's still struggling, so I choose to use gun sounds to enhance the realism in her state of mind. Another example to play with sound elements is to alter the sound. Change the pitch or the frequency to make it sound different. For example right here, this is a Taylor Swift video. Ready for it? I scrapped the whole music down and I did some sound design as practice. So for this scene right here, I used a rattlesnake shaking tail sound to synchronize with the horse armor forming scene. Tip number 4, mixing. When it comes to mixing, there's a lot of things we have to look into. For example, like panning. From left to right, right to left, or maybe just one side, look at your scene and start to identify where's the sound supposed to come from. If a person is talking on the right side, we should hear more of him on the right side. For example, this short film, I want to create a sense of ambiguity on the right side. When the sound hits, the girl look to the right side, have the astonished kind of look. Us as an audience, it'll kind of hook us in too. That's how panning kind of brings the realism into your ear. Same goes to decibel. how far away the subject is, how muffled you want the sound to be, how loud your dialogue is, how soft you want your surrounding to be. All this will break it down to multiple layers where you hear tiny little details on the side while your main subject is doing most of the talking.
What?
Please, you just have to understand.
I have to understand?
Tiny little tip here, use automation to add movement and interest to your scene. Automation is to have your DAW software automatically move your knobs and your faders for you. It can be achieved in most DAW by creating multiple points, allowing the system to adjust the levels for you in real time. Not only that, automation can give you consistency and precision, and it also helps to create transition. And here's my segue. Tip number 5, transition. Sound transition are as important as sound design when it comes to continuity. Your riser, your impact, your drone, any form of atmospheric sound, all of this is able to give your audience a sense of anticipation and seamless storytelling. Using transition also helps to build and release tension, and it helps to shift scene in time or location or even perspective. By manipulating sound transition, you as an audio engineer can specifically highlight a certain point and draw the attention of your audience. And this will bring a different sensation to people.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah, that seems like
I
good.
like the name.
Full of life.
Now, I already shared 5 simple tricks, but I want to share a tiny little bonus tip that I learned and I experienced. Music or no music. Not all scenes require music to elevate your scene to the next level.
I had an accident.
Because sometimes just purely listening to the sound design, you feel much more mesmerized, you feel much more immersed into the scene. Not to discredit any form of music in filmmaking, but even without it, you can really feel the environment and the realism that the scene is trying to portray. Notice how much more impactful each sound hits to your eardrum. That to me, it's kind of like eargasm. Of course, if you feel like the scene requires music, go ahead. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. If you do like the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and leave a comment down below with your thoughts. And of course, if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.